GMGP. It is Tuesday, February 17, 2026. Y'all decided to wake y'all asses up with myself. Y'all know what it is, your boy Ray G. You can find me on X at RayGQ. That's QUE. For those of y'all tapping in for the first time, we have a good time every time with the Wake Up Fam right here every Tuesday and Thursday, 9 a.m. on the channel. My brother from another mother, Jordan Richards, the Canadian, is in the building. Jay Rich is in the building today, right. But we got to acknowledge the people. Jay, it's felt like a minute since we've done this show. It feels like a long time. A lot of stuff has happened since we talked last Thursday. The first Sunday without football, man. The first Sunday without football. But you know what, Jay? Even when the football season ends, when everybody takes a break, when people go away, when they're tired, too much football talk, you know who's here? You know who's here to get it covered, to talk about it? We are, baby. We are. We ain't going nowhere, baby. Every Tuesday and Thursday, in season, off season, out of season, this season, that season, last season, we're in the building, baby. Kanye West season, Jay Rich. That's what they say.
Really?
We got to. That's what they're saying. Okay. That's what they're saying, baby.
Okay.
Oh man, yes, I sure as hell do love my sunglasses. Love them to death. Love them, and I'm gonna keep rocking them. Shout out to you, Matt. How you doing this morning, baby? Boyan, what's going down? Adam Zaff, what's that, baby? GMGP. What your Eagles gonna do, Adam? We're gonna talk about it in a little bit. Jorge from Rhode Island in the building. Mick, Kevin, what's up, baby? Who else we got in the building? Goat rings. Wow, that's a blast from the past. Goat rings in the building. What is going on? Cold World TDE, what's up? Yes, we are. Matt in the building. Who else we got in the building? Jacob. I see Jason in the building. Cozy. Fredo in the building. Darrell D. Garce. What's going on, Scribbles? How you doing? Godfrey 2132. GMGP. Haven't been able to catch a stream in a while, but we appreciate you being here, man. If y'all are here, we have a good time. Y'all know what it is. Hit that thumbs up button. Like the stream. We're out here competing with Cam Newton and Stephen A. Smith and them, Jay Rich. They're live right now in our time slot. In our stuff, man. That's what I'm saying, man. How was your weekend? How you doing, big dog?
I'm good, man. It was a good weekend. A lot of stuff happened. Big day. February 17th. Don't really assume it to be a big day, Ray. But yeah, Valentine's Day was good. Went out with Rhea, got some Indian food. We had we popped some bottles and stuff. It was fun.
Popping bottles?
Man, I got to send you the video. It was funny. So I booked this restaurant, right? Very quick end. I booked this restaurant. They're like, oh, do you want like the special Valentine's Day package? I was like, sure, whatever. Like, I'll put a little deposit down for that. And it came with dessert and champagne. Cool, whatever. And not only did it come with dessert, they did like the full, like you're in the club. The girl comes to our table. She's like, what do you want to put on your sign? I'm like, what do you mean sign? Like, are you going to bring the champagne over? They had the sparklers. They had someone in a full-size Labubu. It was crazy. But she was so embarrassed. The whole restaurant looking at us. It was so
Jay Rich,
and I had no
the bottle
idea
service girls coming out to serve them, man. Look at.
It was funny. It was really funny.
I mean, you, my friend, are man, you're doing good, Jay. Whatever you're doing, I need to do some of that, baby, so I can get the bottle service
if
with the sparklers.
Up,
you know what I mean?
I'll take you there, and we'll get the package. It was pretty funny. But bigger news, Ray, because you didn't know about it. The people know about it.
Talk to me.
The Drake and McDonald's OVO collab is dropping today. I'm going to be fighting with every YN in my area
to
what
go
collab?
To
McDonald's today.
Drake and McDonald's.
Drake and McDonald's dropping today. And Fall Off presale starts today.
The hell is that?
The world tour.
What, Drake?
You better get in line.
That's Drake?
Come on. No, come See, this is how I know that we're not really that close as friends. Like this is borderline offensive.
What
like,
is
I am offended.
Is J. Cole?
This is J. Cole. This is Cole, man.
Well, you're all over the place right now, man. You're talking about goddamn McDonald's and Drake and J. Cole. There's a lot going on.
I was telling you pre-show, I'm going to have the McDrizzy today. Hopefully, we're going to find out.
No, that's not what you... Tell the people what you said pre-show. Tell the people what you
said today. I'm going to get the McDrizzy in my mouth. That is exactly what I said, and I meant it. Now, we don't know what the collab's going to be.
I'm about to bust.
I've seen the OVO McDonald's cups with the owl. Looks crazy. May have to get some. May send some down to you because it's Canada only, so you ain't getting that. But I'm excited, man. Big day.
Yeah, I'm not getting that. I'm not getting anything in my mouth today, Jay Rich, outside of water and food. So you have a good time with that. I'm excited for you. Get those black McDonald's cups. Go pop more bottles. Shout out to Rhea. Shout out to her. Shout out to you.
Hell yeah.
And the flexing you're doing in the chat. It is early, and you're saying some wild things today, which lets me know this is going to be a good show. It's got to be a good show. We got a lot. We've got a lot to talk about. Franchise tag, Jay Rich. It's time to tag some of them players. We gotta talk about it. Franchise tag. Daniel Jeremiah dropped a new mock 2.0. We gotta talk about it. And your boy was a guest on the First and 10 podcast. Not First Take. Not First Take, man. They're close. They're close. First and 10 pod, man. I had a good time with Cade, Metro, and the homies, man. So they're gonna drop a mock draft later today. We were on there for about an hour and a half, Jay Rich, going through all kinds of stuff. Probably the most unique mock that I've done. A lot of trades in there. We had the Rams trading up with the Giants at 5. You got to check it out to see who they took at number 5 after the trade up. Giants trade back. They still get a stud. So check this out. First and 10 podcast on YouTube. Incredible dudes. They're my Texas brothers too, man. They're close to me, right? So we had to make this collaboration happen. But check them out, man. They do great work. I'll be on the show later. Very good stuff from them. I appreciate those guys bringing me on their platform to talk a little ball, man. No one asked me to come on the show, Jay. I haven't been a guest on a show in a long time, man. I don't ask on GQ anymore, man. They don't ask me anymore, man. So it is what it is, Jay. But we do have some dope content dropping. Jeremiah Love prospect profile here very soon, hopefully in the next couple of days. Some more content on the channel. Check out everything over on DDFFB. Highly encourage, if y'all, listen, we don't ever get on here and pitch stuff like come buy this, come do that. But if you like the game, if you play fantasy, if you love the draft, if you like NFL and you're looking for a dope community, I highly encourage you to get over there to our Discord. Scott is doing like these roster reviews every couple of weeks for anybody in the Discord. Like he randomly selects people. It's roster rescue, help you fix your shitty fantasy teams. We got all kinds of stuff. ADP talk, mock drafts. Very good place to be. Patreon.com/allgas. Or if it were me, and what I'll tell you to do is go to the website, sign up for the tools, mock draft simulator on there. My big boards are on there, and you get access to the community. So kind of like, double dip, have some good stuff. But join the community. Got a lot of dope stuff going on, Jay. But where do you want to start? Because today is a big day, Jay. Franchise tags, teams can start doing the transition tags or the franchise tags from today, February 17th, through March 3rd. So we got a couple of weeks of this happening, but there was some releasings going on, Jay Rich. I don't know if you saw a player, a big-time player is going to have to find a new home here during the 2026 season, Jay. Tyreek Hill, gone. Miami said, you're done. Where you laughed and smiled as your destroyed knee was carted off the field. This was a joke, Tyreek Hill. We're going to get you up out of here. 32 years old. He will be released. He'll be 32 in March 1st. Dislocated knee, torn ACL, torn MCL. Whole knee was just all kinds of messed up. This will save the Dolphins $22 million. So Tyreek Hill going to be looking for a new home in 2026. Where do you want to see him go? What do you think his market's going to look like? What do you think that Tyreek market's going to look like?
Well, I mean, I'd imagine it'd be a fairly robust one, right? If you're an NFL team looking for a wide receiver, there's a pretty good chance that Tyreek Hill would be on your radar, because the one thing that could actually happen for Tyreek is, of course, the health is a big issue here, and how healthy is he going to be? When is he going to be healthy? But if you're a competing team, you don't even really care if he's available during the regular season, at least for the most part. But, second half of the season, back third of the season, and obviously into the playoffs. And the bigger point is he's probably going to come cheap, right? The Dolphins are paying him a ton of money to not be on the roster. So at that point, much like we've seen in the past with Russell Wilson when he went to Pittsburgh, you can get a player who is definitely worth a lot more for fairly cheap. So I think Tyreek's market will be very robust. It's just, where does he ultimately go? Does he go to the Chargers to follow Mike McDaniel? Does he go back to the Chiefs? People have talked about Tennessee because they have a ton of money.
Mick's talking about it right now. Chris Jones already recruiting him. Chris Jones, come on, Tyreek, come on to the squad.
Where do you think the best spot is for Tyreek Hill, and where's the spot that you want to see him go?
I don't know, Jay. Realistic, like just being real, man. I don't know. he could still
actually
play.
I think the Chargers could be one of the better spots for him.
He could still play, but dude, his leg was like an L. It was like this. You know what I mean? It was.
But I mean, you're not.
It was a perfect right angle. You know what? You remember that right angle? 90 degrees, Jay Rich. Perfect right angle. 45 degree angle. I'd be like that, like a tent, an A-frame. I don't know, man. I don't. Because, and let me just ask you, you are our resident cap financial expert, all things NFL. A team that picks him up, they're going to have to assume that contract, right? They're going to have to take on that money, or that's a lot of bread. Okay,
because it's right because it's different. Where there may be some, but once you get released, like you're released, right? It's not like when, like in the case of Tua, they're trying to trade him. Because if they trade him, then the team who trades for him has to assume that
they got to assume the cap.
But if you cut him, that you're cutting ties, right? And so it depends, right? Because there may be some language to where if someone signs him for $15 million, then the Dolphins are off the hook for that $15 million. But if someone signs him for the league minimum, they're off the hook for that $900,000. But the rest of it, because like in the case of baseball, right? The Phillies just cut Nick Castellanos. Nick Castellanos signed with San Diego for $900,000, so the Phillies don't have to pay him that $900,000, but they still owe him like the $15 million that he still is owed from that team, right? So there may be some relief in terms of if he signs for a team, whatever the number he signs for gets forgiven by the Dolphins, but the rest they will be owed to Tyreek Hill.
So everybody in the chat is saying Baltimore. Let's talk about it for a minute. Tyreek Hill,
he's old,
Tyreek Hill to the Baltimore Ravens. To your point,
it's a perfect fit.
To your point, they don't need him weeks 1 through 11, right? Yeah, he
15,
can help.
16,
he can,
right?
We need you come week 19 if we make it. Week 18 towards the back of the season. Now, the Ravens didn't make the damn playoffs this year, so maybe they do need him towards the back half of the season. But let's just assume that things are a little bit better in Baltimore, right? We've got Mentor in place. We got a new. We're energized now. Harbaugh's out of the building. We got Monken out of the building. Who's calling plays in Baltimore again? We know this. Who's calling plays in Baltimore? Come on, Jay. Who's the OC?
Ben Johnson's OC.
Is it Declan Doyle? Is it Doyle? Is it Declan Doyle?
Yeah, Declan Doyle.
Put Tyreek Hill with Lamar Jackson, and if he is 80% of what he was, it's probably still an addition for the Ravens. I'm not talking about long term.
Basically Zay Flowers, right?
No, Zay's been pretty. We got to stop that. Zay's been pretty damn good, but I get what you're saying. You put Tyreek Hill on Baltimore, that turns them into a what? A contender? Are they a true contender at that point? And granted, they're going to do some other things, right? They got draft picks, you got free agency, but adding a player like Tyreek to this offense does what for Baltimore, who's probably going to lose Isaiah Likely. They're bringing back Mark Andrews. You got Pro Bowler and Zay Flowers. King Henry's back. The offensive line, you've got to fix that and improve the offensive line. But what does Tyreek Hill do for Lamar?
I think it just adds another weapon to that offense, right? And more importantly, a player he can get the ball to very quickly. That's kind of what this offense is. Bateman's really the only one that kind of stretches the field to some extent. We have seen it a little bit from some other players, but for me, the main thing is, can you have a player who's an outlet who's not Zay Flowers and is not the lumbering Mark Andrews that takes 10 seconds to get 5 yards down the field, right? And that is something that we have seen. We know they need. Mekhi Lemon's been mocked to them I believe it was 14 they are in the draft. So I think that he can help this team, but the problem for me with Baltimore isn't so much the offense. It's actually how quickly can Jesse Minter turn around the defense, right? This team will go as far as the defense takes them, and how they're able to revamp that. But absolutely, Tyreek Hill would be a great lift to this team for sure.
All right, let's talk about the world champion Seattle Seahawks. Clint Kubiak officially named the head coach of the Raiders, but he is not done pillaging Seattle for assets. He is taking the former Seattle quarterback coach, Andrew Janko? Is it Janico?
I don't even know how to say his name.
I think it's Janico. I think it's Andrew Janico. He's going to be the Raiders' offensive coordinator. So Seattle's going to have to replace their OC and Clint Kubiak, as well as the quarterback coach who helped turn things around with Sam Darnold, world champion Seattle Seahawks.
We're giving him that much credit, eh?
Hey, he was in the building and a part of the organization and the coaching staff that helped turn Sam Darnold into a Super Bowl champion. Seattle. You always talk about this. You say this is the issue with having these hotshot offensive coordinators is you get them in, they're there for like a year or two, and if they're good, they're gone.
1 year, right?
And then they're taking their guy with them, the quality control coach, the quarterback coach, the passing game coordinator. They're taking them with them to their new location. I don't even want to talk about what this does for Las Vegas, because I think anything outside of Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly and Antonio Pierce are massive upgrades for the Raiders. What do these moves do for Seattle in the long term? And right now, today, how much confidence do you have in Darnold? Because I think there are still a lot of people out there that do not really believe that Sam Darnold has turned this thing around, and he is now, I don't want to say an upper echelon quarterback, but he is locked and loaded.
People have him in the top 10, right?
We were going to talk about that. What do you think this does for Darnold?
So it definitely puts a bit of a question mark. You asked me where would I put Darnold. What was this, 2 weeks ago? I think just
2 weeks ago, we
Bowl.
talked about this.
And I said, well, is it in the same system next season, right, with Kubiak? And you said, okay, yes. And I'm like, okay, I'd probably have him in the top 10. But now you have a situation where you lost your quarterback coach, who Kubiak brought with him to Seattle. And we're going to find out whether Mike McDonald really knows what he's doing and can hire the right coach. And it's not to say that he doesn't know what he's doing, because we know defensively he is one of the best coaches in the NFL right now. But he also fired his OC last year because he wasn't getting what he wanted. He found Kubiak, and they were able to put together a plan that obviously worked and won the Super Bowl. Can they do that again? I don't want to say he's Dan Campbell, because a lot of people try to tell us that, it's Dan Campbell's system. It's not Ben Johnson, right? He's the one that really orchestrates the offense and dictates what they do and all that various stuff. But I think we kind of saw that that's not the case, because once he took over play calling duties, it just didn't really work out and wasn't that much better than it was. So it'll be a transition year for Seattle, right? How quickly can they reacclimate? The quarterback coach you're speaking of was also a candidate to be Seattle's OC. So he actually took the Raiders' OC job over being the OC in Seattle. Because he was a candidate for that job as well, right? So that also tells you maybe where his head is at and how his preparation is. And we don't need to speak to his qualifications because we don't really know him all that well. And I'm sure we'll get more acclimated with him over the years. But Seattle's in a spot where now there's no candidates available. Even Cliff Kingsbury's off the market. He's an offensive guy in Los Angeles under Sean McVay, not the OC, though. They haven't hired that yet. And I think it's fair to assume, what are we going to see from this team? Do we believe the offensive line is completely turned around? I would say for the most part, yeah. Do we believe Darnold has turned a corner? Absolutely. But we still need the right play caller at the helm, because go look to Philadelphia, go look to Detroit. You lose your guy and you replace him with somebody else, and all of a sudden, everything just goes to shit. So I'm not here to say it's over for Seattle, but yeah, I think much like I was coming into this season, a little bit hesitant about how the offense would look, I think I'm going to be equally hesitant going into this season unless we hear a bunch of glowing reports that the offense is going to be just as good as it was last year.
We'll see. I want to give Sam Darnold his credit. He played incredible ball this year. He won the Super Bowl, but we all know that changes in offensive environment, changes in the offensive situation absolutely impact the outcome and the product on the field. So we're going to play this game. Jay Rich, I've been watching, right? I've been watching these content creators. I like this game where the stop me when you hear a quarterback better than Sam Darnold, okay? So we're going to start the threshold low, but we're talking about going into next season, not what they've been, not what you thought they would be. Stop me when you hear an NFL quarterback better than Sam Darnold today.
426?
420, not last year, 426.
Okay.
For 2026. Stop me when you hear a quarterback, all right? Justin Fields, Tua Tagovailoa, Shedeur Sanders, your boy, Malik Willis, J.J. McCarthy, Michael Penix Jr., Kyler Murray, Daniel Jones, Bryce Young, Cam Ward, C.J. Stroud, Bo Nix, Jalen Hurts, Jordan Love.
I'll take Jordan Love.
Okay, Jordan
I'll
Love.
take Jordan Love.
Okay.
So to explain myself, because I'm sure people will be on me here, Jalen Hurts is tough. Still very worried about the OC there because we don't really know how good the guy is there that they brought in from Green Bay. I'm leaning on the floor. I'm leaning on Love, leaning on the system there. That's the reason why I just slightly prefer Love and his system and his situation for 26. You know, Cam Ward, sure, Dayball, like, I get it. People are excited. Like, I'm still taking Darnold. Darnold could be worse than some of those quarterbacks. It was the right spot. But yeah, the Hurts one was tough. The Bo Nix one was tough.
Nix.
I'd be curious how people feel about Bo Nix.
What about Stroud? What about Stroud? I saw there was some, I don't want to say report, rumor mill floating around that the Cleveland Browns should trade. I think it was McShay that put that out there.
There is, yeah,
that
some
Cleveland,
weird rumors that Stroud should be traded. It's like, Stroud's not getting traded, man. It was more so the insider report with Minnesota. Did you see that one?
No,
I
did not.
Words?
No.
Okay, so
what do we have?
So
what do we have?
There was a podcast, a Vikings podcast, right?
Thor Nystrom. Shout out Thor.
I don't think it was Thor's pod. Okay. But it was one of the Vikings pods, and Thor obviously retweeted it, so that's why I saw it.
Of course.
So someone put an anonymous tip. They said they had this insider information from some player personnel person, and they just put it in anonymously, so it's not like it's a substantiated report or anything. But he said he thought there was some validity to it. That someone that he knows within the Vikings texted him 2 words, and the 2 words were Davis Mills.
Oh.
As a potential maybe fit for the Vikings, a player who they could potentially bring in, which was crazy because everyone looks at Davis Mills. They said, Davis Mills. But Davis Mills, he won some games for Houston this year. He looked better than C.J. Stroud running the offense at times. But yeah, kind of crazy to see that. But yeah, Stroud is a tough evaluation because they've switched offensive coordinators. They've tried to revamp the offensive line. We know they traded away Laramie Tunsil, and it doesn't seem like that's worked out overly well for them. And the weapons have been, okay, right? We expect more from Jalen Noel, Jaden Higgins. We know Nico Collins is a big force there. Dalton Schultz should be fine. Woody Marks, maybe they can get Joe Mixon back, right? It seems like that's kind of their biggest limiting factor going into this season. They really needed Joe Mixon or at least a dynamic running back, and they didn't really have that. But yeah, not overly optimistic about Stroud. I like Nix a lot.
Stroud's only 24 years old. He's only 24 years old. A young 24, fresh 24. And then people are already... Listen, this season wasn't great. After rookie year...
That's the problem. He keeps kind of going down.
Well,
right?
New offensive coordinator this year. We saw how that worked out. No running game with Joe Mixon obviously didn't help. I'm not as out on C.J. Stroud as everybody else. I'm not. You've seen some of the things that he can do in the NFL. You just got to package that stuff up a little bit better, and I think that will come with you got to get the right OC in the building, the right quarterback coach, the right position coach, the right offensive coordinator. But you can't. I don't believe again that C.J. Stroud. We just did that. We just talked about Sam Darnold and all the quarterbacks that we would take over Sam Darnold, and that dude was left for dead 2-3 years ago. So no, I am. If Houston wants to foolishly give up C.J. Stroud, I'd be in line to take him. I am not as out on C.J. Stroud. I would take C.J. Stroud over Sam Darnold. I would take C.J. Stroud over Sam Darnold. I know
But you think C.J. Stroud would have a better 2026 season than Sam Darnold? Because that was the question.
Yeah, I do. I do.
Okay.
I'll say it right now. I do. I think we're going to see what Sam Darnold's made out of this year. We're going to see. We're going to, if
he still has JSN, right?
He's got JSN. There's no doubt.
One of the best receivers in the league.
And Stroud's got a top defense, and he's got Nico. So I'm not. There's no excuse for either or. Right? I'm not gonna. If Stroud doesn't get it done, I'm not gonna make an excuse for him. But this profuse just disdain for him, I don't know about that. You just don't find 24-year-old quarterbacks that have the God-given ability that he does. He's got to package it up. He hasn't been awful. He hasn't been great, but he has not been awful.
He's been poor. He's been poor. He's been a bottom third quarterback in the NFL for like the last 2 seasons. That's pretty bad. Like, again, Ray, when we talk about Bryce,
he missed a bunch of time this year too. He missed a bunch of time this year.
When we talk about Bryce Young closing the gap on C.J. Stroud, that felt impossible 2 years ago, right? And I think the bigger point in kind of the
Bryce really closed the gap? Has Bryce really closed the gap on Stroud?
I would say so. Yeah. I mean, think about how wide it was. It was the Grand Canyon, right? It's not that anymore. It's much closer than it was. I think the bigger point for me, and the way that we talk about quarterbacks, is that we believe to some extent CJ Stroud was more of a truck than a trailer, but he is very much playing like a trailer over the past
He's playing, yes, he's playing like a trailer for
Right.
sure. But we have this conversation all the time. How many trucks are in the NFL? Like, legitimately, how many truck quarterbacks are in the NFL right now that it doesn't matter what situation you pull them into, they're dragging the rest of the team with them. There's a handful of trucks in the NFL. Maybe Josh Allen, truck, right? Absolutely. Josh Allen is a truck. Lamar Jackson is a truck. Justin Herbert is a truck. Patrick Mahomes, truck. Outside of that, who else? Burrow.
I mean,
Burrow.
you could throw Burrow in there, right?
Burrow's
For
a truck.
And I think, like, in stretches, Hurts can be a truck, but again, he needs the right play call. Like, I think it's when you
Truck's
talk about like
a two-door.
a true truck.
I'm talking. He's a two-door truck, man. He's the.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if we break it down a bit more, there's levels to this, and of course, the elites are the elites, right?
He's
They're
the
always
truck
gonna
where
be
the door
elites.
opens this way. It's a little back seat. It's not a full. I need the full back. I need a full crew cab. Here,
That's
Jay
where
We
We thought CJ could kind of, be in that upper echelon of quarterbacks. And
He's a two-wheel drive truck. Two-wheel drive.
I think he's playing like a rundown truck right now. I think he needs a tune-up.
Two-wheel
Right?
drive. You don't go two-wheel drive. You don't do that. That is what he is. There are not many of those guys in the NFL. There just aren't. So
No.
CJ Stroud is probably a very fancy trailer. At times that, shit, this looks nice, but he's probably a high-end trailer.
He's just a new trailer.
Yeah, he's a high-end trailer.
He ain't rusty yet. That's it.
No, he's a high-end trailer. But no, I'm not. I am not out on CJ Stroud. All right, Jay. We are at the 30-minute mark of the show, and I want to talk some franchise tags. Kev dropped a super chat, and we are going to get to that in a little bit, Kev. Let's stay around. We're going to get to it because we're going to talk about it when we pull up Daniel Jeremiah's mock. Let me, 7 Goat Ring said the 4-foot bed truck. You cannot have
those short beds, yeah.
Yeah, you don't want that short bed, Jay Rich. You want riding around looking like a Tonka truck. Nah, not down here.
Short beds are in.
Maybe up there in Canada while you go get your McFlurry for your mouth, but not down here. Jay Rich, not down here. We got to talk franchise tag, Jay. Got to talk franchise tag. You know what this means?
All right.
We're either going to pay you or we're going to let you walk. We're going to pay you or let you walk. And just for optional completeness here, I thought it was more than this. 2 players last year, Jay Rich. Only 2 players got hit with the tag last year.
Okay.
I would think that it would be more, but that lets me know that these teams were like, hey, we're going to try to come to terms on a long-term deal with you here before the season starts. Let's talk about some of these players and which ones do you think are going to get tagged and stay with the current team that they're on, which ones are going to be in new homes, and where might those new homes be. So let's pull it up right now. Boom, here we go. Franchise tag season starts today. Kyle Pitts Sr., brand new coach, Kevin Stefanski in the building. You're going to have Michael Penix back, hopefully with some healthy knees. It looks like Kirk Cousins is going to be on his way out.
Yep.
What are they going to do with Pitts?
This is tough. I do think it's kind of, between Matt Ryan and Stefanski's call because he's a tight end. The number won't come in too high for Kyle Pitts if they were to franchise tag him to give him another year to kind of see where he's at. I don't think it'd be a terrible idea to franchise him, honestly. Like, why not keep the gang together, for another year? We know Drake London's going to be there. Bijan's going to be there. The cap numbers for those players aren't going to hit for a couple seasons. But, again, extending Pitts beyond 26 is when that all gets expensive. I don't think tagging Pitts is a bad idea, and I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to do it. Now, if they reach an extension, I don't know. But I do think tagging Pitts would actually be a good idea for the Falcons.
Year 5 for Kyle Pitts. 11, becoming the first tight end to reach 150 yards with 3 touchdowns in a game. Yeah, that was a legacy Pitts game. So 88 catches, 928 yards, and I believe he's only 24 years old. 24 years old for Kyle Pitts.
What do you think? Would you tag him?
Hell yeah, I'm going to tag him.
Okay.
He's not going anywhere. We're going to tag him, and then we're going to work out a long-term deal. I believe Atlanta's got cap space too, right?
Long-term deal?
You're going to let a 20...
for them, well, hold on. The problem for them isn't necessarily they do have some cap space, but they need to extend Bijan, I believe, this offseason, right, which will come up in 2 years. And I think London they have to extend as well. Or did London already get extended?
I don't think Drake got a deal yet. I don't believe he got a deal yet. And see, this is the problem.
They got $26 million right now prior to restructures.
Yeah.
So it's not a ton. They could probably get to like 50, 60
well,
maybe.
If they do not and they let him hit the market, he will become probably the highest paid tight end in the NFL.
You think so?
I think so.
Not
you don't think so?
Highest paid. No.
You don't think so?
He's not getting more than McBride got. There's no way. McBride's isn't he at like 18 million? Let me see what.
Yeah, he's like 27 too. Pitts is 24 years old, and he's had 1,000-yard season. He's coming off of a great year here. He finished second in the league in receptions for the tight end and yard. He was only behind McBride. He was only behind McBride this year.
Average is 19 a season. So you're talking about paying him wide receiver 2 money at $20 million. He's not getting paid that.
Where do you think he'd be at? I think
he could be like 14, 15. I think that's a reasonable number for him. That's probably around what the tag would be anyways, right? It's not going to be super high because it's the average. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be like something crazy. Like I don't think 18, 20 million because we know he's not better. I think
he's getting at least 18.
Would you pay him as much as you'd pay Wan'Dale Robinson? Because I think that's the range you're looking at now. Right?
Absolutely.
Do you believe he can block well enough for that?
I don't give a shit about how he blocks. Go catch the ball.
Yeah,
if you
but
go give
NFL
me 88,
teams care about it.
No, they don't.
They're going to care about it.
I will sign Michael Pruitt to block. I will sign Mercedes Lewis to come in and block. I need you to go out there and get me 90 receptions and 1,000 yards. That's what Kyle Pitts is. Like I don't think they're signing him to go open up the run game. They're signing him to get down the field, catch the ball, score.
Get paid to do, right? That's why you pay George Kittle big money. McBride can do that.
How much of that blocking does
Pitts
McBride? No, he's fine.
He can do it better than Pitts can. Much better than Pitts. He's a much better blocker than Pitts is.
I don't care about his blocking. Go get
if you could get me a bigger part of the offense.
Get me 11 for 166 and 3 in a game. That's what I'm paying you to go do. That's what I'm paying you to do. Let's talk about Trey Hendrickson. Right. He's gone, right? Bye.
Yeah, he's gone.
Bye. Trey Hendrickson is gone.
How much you paying him? A lot, probably. He's old, though. That's the problem.
I'm not paying him a lot. Not at 32 years old. I can't do it. I can't do it. He'd make $30 million. You're talking about paying Pitts 18 and you got to pay Trey Hendrickson 30 plus? 30 plus?
That's what he wants, right? He got 29 last season. UFA now. But yeah, it's tough, man. Like he's going to want probably upwards of 30 million. But the funny part about it is that this is like the 1 year where he wasn't overly productive. Now, he only played in 7 games, and it felt like he kind of opted out of some of those games later in the season. He did have 4 sacks. I'm not quite sure where his pressure numbers were at, but of course, he only played 7 games. Can you get 3 more good years? I mean, he's 31, going to be turning 32, so he's not super old, but definitely old in terms of edge rusher, probably rotational edge rusher a little bit to some extent. But yeah, he's going to want $32 million. And so the Bengals aren't tagging him. We know that. And it's where do you want to see him go? Could he end up on the Raiders to replace Max Crosby when they trade him?
He feels, it feels, I guess whoever pays him the most money probably
feels
is
like
the
he's
answer.
A mercenary, right?
Feels like he is a mercenary. He feels like he's a mercenary. The good teams who could actually use him probably are not going to pay him $30 million. The Eagles, I'm just throwing out top
the money, right? Right.
Yeah. The Seahawks and the Eagles or the Broncos or the Bills. How would you feel about
the Chargers? They have the money.
Okay. LA would be nice. I don't know if there's any smoke or rumor there, but I like that.
Seattle actually does have a lot of money.
Seattle has a lot of money
to play, but yeah,
the D-line is nasty too.
Vegas, Tennessee, right? That's tons of money. They got $99 million.
I can see Tennessee. I can see Tennessee and Robert Saleh breaking the bank for Hendrickson. I could see that happening. Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out D-Bro in the chat, man. Shout out my dog D-Bro. What's going down with you? All right, Jay, the next one. This is a big one right here. A lot of people talking about this one. A lot of people interested in what's going to happen with GP. George Pickens. Dallas Cowboys, George Pickens. They got him. A lot of talk about a tag and trade. A lot of people in Dallas are saying he's not going anywhere. Like Pickens is here for the long term.
Okay.
What do you think? What do you think is going to happen? Now, some completeness here. I'm almost positive that George Pickens' agent is the same agent that Jerry and the Dallas Cowboys had to deal with Michael Parsons. And didn't Jerry Jones say he ain't dealing with that agent anymore? I'm not. I gave you this contract number on a napkin at a table. There's no need to involve Mulligata. There's no need to bring him in here. And Micah said, "To hell with that." You know what I'm saying? This ain't Landman, Jerry Jones. This ain't Landman over here, which I've been watching. It is an excellent show. I love Landman.
I watched the first season. It was good.
It's pretty good. It's pretty doggone good, man. Blast from the Varsity Blues past. If you know, you know. George Pickens, what are they going to do with him?
He will be tagged, absolutely. But honestly, Ray, I kind of view George Pickens as a mercenary as well. Now, of course, the trade... Yeah, the trade will be a big factor as to, who ultimately pays him. But I do think if you're a team negotiating with Dallas, where they lose a bit of leverage is that the team has to be able to pay him and want to pay him. And you're probably going to have an agreement in place before the trade even goes down, right? Much like we saw with Micah Parsons, Green Bay already had the contract negotiated with him prior to the trade, and that's really what held up the trade, was making sure the contract negotiation was done and all of that was sorted before ultimately processing the trade for Micah Parsons. I think GP is going to get traded. The problem is where, right? And what is the number?
Don't tell me this.
For me,
don't say this.
You're not paying him. I've asked you what the number is. Spotrac has the number at 30.
He's going to be top 4 receiver money all time. I think it's going to be number 3. He's going to be right behind Jefferson and Chase. It's DK Metcalf, Garrett Wilson, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, and I can't think of the 5th receiver. But those are the 4 of the 5 top highest paid receivers. It's Metcalf, it might be CD, Metcalf, Wilson, Jefferson, and Chase. Those are the top 5 highest paid wide receivers.
You think he's going to be that high? So in terms of guarantees, right?
Absolutely.
So you think he's going to be right behind Lamb? Lamb got $100 million guaranteed.
He's getting more than Lamb. I think he's at 110,
but
115.
Dallas can't give him more than Lamb.
CD's already come out to say he doesn't give a shit. CD's like, he said, CD was like, if he makes more than me, great. And if I'm Lamb, I want him to get paid more than me. Because then when I re-up, I'm coming right back for more. He's going to be, I'm going to predict he's the 3rd highest paid receiver in the history. He's not going to usurp Jamar Chase, who's getting $35 million a season.
Jamar is at 40 on average. Justin Jefferson,
he's not getting
CD Lamb 34. So you're talking about probably higher than Jefferson.
I bet
he's 30 wide receiver 2.
I bet you he's 35 plus. Bet you he's 35 plus. That's what he's going to cost. I just don't know how.
That's insane, man. That sounds insane.
You know what? You know what? He peaked at the right time. He had a career year, all pro, Pro Bowler, top 5 in the league across the board, and he's 24 years old with a previous 1,000-yard season in shitty Pittsburgh under his belt.
I have a question for you. I've been thinking about this.
Talk to me.
If you're an NFL team, do you throw voids in his contract like DK Metcalf got his? Because you know who George Pickens is. You can't just look at George Pickens and say, "Oh yeah, that's a good guy. We like George Pickens. He's never been a problem before." Right? So like I hear you on like, "Oh, we're going to pay him all this money to be the highest paid receiver," but like DK Metcalf already got guarantees voided in his contract because he did something stupid. And I'm not trying to say George Pickens is going to do that. But definitely there's a world where if you're an NFL team, you're going to work that language into the contract, and you're probably going to try and find a way to void some of that money off of his contract because, yes, you want him on the team, especially in the short term, but should something go wrong, which, George Pickens can be a bit of a problem at times we've seen in the past, on field or off the field. We've seen a bit of both.
Who doesn't? Didn't Jamar Chase get suspended for fighting? No,
actually.
Come on, man. Jamar was I didn't do it. Yeah, you did.
But Ray, he's been paid, so it's okay.
Jamar doesn't give a damn. He doesn't. He really doesn't care. He does whatever.
He got his money now. He's chilling. Yeah. He's got his Fabletics deal. He don't care about Nike, Adidas, nobody. He's chilling. But yeah, Pickens again. For me, it's the number. I hear you. He probably will get the 35 million, 36 million, but what are the guarantees? What does that look like across the league? Is it over 100? He's a great receiver. I just don't know if I'd want to pay him that much money. And I think now we're in a situation where they're going to tag him. Absolutely. He is going to be tagged.
Yes.
But then where do you want to see him end up? Tennessee, Vegas, the Chargers, the Jets, Washington, Seattle, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, the Rams, and New England are your top 10 teams in cap space. And
New England would be dope. Just throwing stuff out there. New England would be dope. New England would. I don't think he's leaving Dallas. I'm just saying. I think he's going to be right there in Dallas. I think New England would be fun.
But then where does that leave Dallas? Then they're paying CD 35. They're paying Dak 62. Well, they're paying Pickens 35.
That's another topic
Dak's
for another
cap
day.
Hit prior to restructure, because he'll get restructured, is $74 million right now.
D-Bro's saying tag and trade him. Tag and trade him.
I just think you have to because of the number. Like, it's just too much money.
What are you getting back? What D-Bro, I hear you. What am I getting back? You're saying tag and trade him. What am I getting?
It's a second.
I'm not.
You're not getting a first. You're just not. It's a second.
Well, then he's going to be on the Dallas Cowboys.
Maybe.
Then he's going to be on the. I'm not giving him up for a second. No, thank you. And I agree.
It's not about giving him up. That's just what it's. You're not getting a first. Like, who's giving you a first? Scribbles,
I 100% agree with you. He gets a bad rap. I've heard nothing bad about Pickens. People got to stop that. People got to stop that,
but
man.
Ray, but it's okay. But you're confusing. You like Pickens. I like Pickens too. But you can't pretend like you haven't seen it on the field.
Yeah, somebody said in the chat.
From his time at Georgia, you've seen it on the field. You've seen it on the field in Pittsburgh.
This is the best comment to counter that. Dogs can be a handful. Listen, we're not. This ain't Sister Act here. They're not damn nuns. We're not going to theology school. We're playing goddamn football. Jay Rich, you know what football? It is a gladiator sport. It's dogs. You should hear the stuff that's said on the football field. You can't repeat 95% of what's said on the field. So spare me. Oh, he's so bad. And I don't give a damn. Can you run the slant? Can you run the dig route? Are you catching touchdowns? That's what the league is about. Stop all this sissified pussyfooting around. Oh, he's not a team. Stop it. Can you go dog out on the field? All this fear and mongering around his antics. Dogs can be handfuls, and I want dogs on my football team, Jay. Let's keep it moving, all right? Let's keep it moving. Daniel Jones and Alec Pierce.
I kind of think Indy should tag Pierce. If his again,
they've only used the tag one time in the last 13 years.
But here's the other side of it, right? That
is the side. Once in 13 years.
But they have no draft picks.
Well,
they have nothing. They traded them all away for some dude named Sauce. Right? Good player. I like Sauce Gardner. Great for the defense. But now you have a free agent, Daniel Jones, who has a major injury, and Alec Pierce, who you think can command $30 million in the open market. If he's going to get $30 million, you tag him. Absolutely. It's no different than Pickens. If he can command that type of market, you tag him and you try and trade him. Right? Like, that's what you should do. You can't just let Pierce walk if that's the number he's going after.
There's not going to be goddamn 5 tagging trades. It's not happening.
But I'm not saying it should, but that's probably what they should do. Like, would you let Pierce just walk and get your compensatory third for him?
No.
Right?
No.
So at that point, you would tag him. You would tag him and try.
They're
going to
work out long term. They're going to work out long term deals with both of them. They're going to work out long term deals with both.
Maybe they do because they have to keep the core intact at this point.
Got no choice.
They went all in on these.
No choice.
Pierce not so much, more so on Jones.
But
they don't have the pieces to go and get a quarterback in the next 2 seasons. So I just think if I'm running the show there, I would tag Pierce. And hopefully you can retain Jones because he likes the system. He likes Steichen, assuming Steichen's still going to be there, and he will be there next year. But after that, right? But Pierce, I think you try and trade him. That's where people are saying, oh, you get a first for Pickens, 2 firsts. Like, that's not how this works because those players walk and you get a third for them. So you only pay a little bit more than that. You're not going to pay a first and a second-round pick for George Pickens and give him $35 million. You might as well call Dallas's bluff and try and get him on the open market.
A lot of people are saying what Pierce does, you could just replicate that. There's another Pierce in the draft every year.
I tend to agree, but Alec Pierce has found a way to be an outlier.
Well, he's no longer Alec. You know what his name is. Call him by his government. Yeah. It's Antoine.
Antoine is definitely an outlier, but he's an outlier that's pretty damn good.
He's
like
pretty good,
is
man.
pretty damn good.
He's pretty good.
And I think as good as we've seen him play in Indy, I think he's underutilized. Right? Like, I think he'd be better than just this stretch the field type of player, 20 yards per reception player. What do you have? I think it was 47 receptions and still had 1,000 yards.
What?
I think
how?
Yeah. I think you can find a way to better utilize that player on your team, personally.
As do I.
Yeah.
Those big play threats are.
And D-Bro, the thing with the Sauce trade is that I still believe had 2 more years of control on his contract. So he actually had like a 6 or 7 year deal.
He did. All right, Jay, we got a couple of more that we need to run through, and then I want to pull up the Jeremiah mock. Let's go through a couple of more quickly. Jacksonville, Devin, Lloyd, and Travis Etienne.
Can't do it. Too expensive for both those players. I believe the tag for running backs is like $14.5 million. That's not going to work for Travis Etienne. And I think Devin Lloyd is even more expensive.
Look at the $28 million.
Linebacker market.
$28 million. Yeah, 14 for the running back, 28. So do you think Etienne is back at? I mean, at 14 million, I'll bring you back.
I mean, Etienne might be back, but I'm not tagging him for 14 million. I'll just try and reach an extension at maybe like 18 million guaranteed over 2 seasons type of thing, but at a lower number. That's more where I'm getting at with Etienne. For 1 season, 14.5 is probably too expensive, and I don't see a reason why Jacksonville would do that.
Odafe Owe, outside linebacker for the Chargers, 7.5 sacks in 12 games last year. We know the Chargers defense is a little rough, and Owe is not an old player at all. So who were we talking about? Hendrickson to LA? Yeah. I mean,
they could.
27 years old, 27 million.
How do we feel about his ability to be as effective in, again, similar system potentially, maybe the same system, but Minter not calling the defense anymore? And they did bring him in mid-season, so it was a great acquisition for them. But I'm curious what he's going to get, because $27.8 million is just a lot of money to pay to a defensive lineman that, you traded for
outside
mid-season
backer.
Was great.
Yeah.
Because it's like basically Montez Sweat, right? Montez Sweat was traded for mid-season. He was great, and then they paid him like $100 million or something crazy like that, and he's been awful ever since. So I just don't think you want to make the same mistake. But I do think they tried to retain him. I just don't think it's for that franchise number.
The Giants have quite a bit. Cordell Flott was probably their best corner last year. Jermaine Illuminor played the most snaps for them and was very, very solid at the right tackle spot. And if you look at the Giants' depth chart, currently there is no right tackle listed behind Jermaine Illuminor. That's why in the mock that I did, check it out on First and 10 podcast, I had them taking a offensive tackle in the late round 1. They traded back. They got an extra pick. I had them taking a right tackle. But you got Cordell Flott. You got Wan'Dale Robinson, Jermaine Illuminor. What do the Giants do? What do you think they do with Wan'Dale? What do you think they do with Wan'Dale, who is proven to be pretty damn good, all things considered? Like he feels like the rest of his career trajectory can just be like he's just good. He's not a great player, not an all-pro, but like that's somebody you want on your roster. Like that is a locked and loaded. He's a starting receiver next 5 years in the NFL and a quality one at that. Are they going to pay him though? All these mocks with the Giants taking a receiver at 5. Are they going to pay Wan'Dale and pass on the receiver position, or are they going to pass on Wan'Dale and draft a receiver? What do you think?
So in terms of Wan'Dale, I do think they try to bring him back. Now, again, I don't think it'll be for this franchise tag number. If it's $25+ million, I don't think he's going to command that on the open market. I think, honestly, the one that I'd be looking at is Flott. I don't think he's going to get tagged because it will still be quite expensive. But if they did tag him, I don't think it would be the worst decision in the world, because then at that point, they could try and trade him. He wouldn't be on the open market. And if they keep him for 1 year, like at that point, it wouldn't be too bad. It wouldn't be too bad. 20 million. They got a bit of cap space. They're in a transitional season, transitional year. And I think the one side that kind of perks my interest is we know the Rams are looking for corners, and they have a surplus of draft picks. And not to say they're going to trade a first for Flott, because they probably wouldn't with him on the expiring deal. But maybe you could garner some interest for a player like Flott, who is coming off a great year, and trade him on that tag. And if you keep him on that tag for that number, it wouldn't be too bad, honestly.
So we've got this. Appreciate you dropping this in the chat. If the original team doesn't match the offer, they get 2 firsts automatically under the non-exclusive tag rules. So if you want to give,
but these would not be non-exclusive tags. We're talking exclusive tags.
I'm just highlighting the comment, Jay. Let's move on for the last 2 players that we're going to discuss. Big name, Breece Hall.
Nope.
Wandale in Tennessee would be dope.
Wandale
in Tennessee would be dope with Dayball.
Why are we trying to send receivers to Tennessee?
Because they need receivers and they got a bunch of money.
They got money, sure.
Get Cam Ward a weapon, and I think he'll be okay. I think the receivers would be fine in Tennessee with Dayball and
you're
Ward.
Such a Cam Ward. What is with you and Cam Ward now? You've come around. You're buying into Salah. You're buying into Brian Dayball.
I'm buying
Cam Ward second half. It was a Brian Callahan problem, right? Who could have told you that?
I'm buying into the fact that he was throwing the ball to nobody last year. They were trying to trot out Xavier Restrepo and Van Jefferson and Elick Eomanor. He's fine. DK's fine. But give them... They need some real weapons alongside some of the youth that they have. So bring Alec Pierce, George Pickens, Wan'Dale Robinson. Those are your ones. Wan'Dale goes to Tennessee. He's the wide receiver 1 in Tennessee. He's the top dog in Tennessee if he goes there. Alec Pierce, probably the same thing. Where does Breece Hall go?
I have no idea.
Me either.
He's not going to be a Jet.
I honestly don't know either. He's not going to be a Jet.
Because I think there's 2 issues for Breece Hall. Do you think he's the number 1 running back on the market?
Absolutely.
See, that I think is...
Absolutely.
I don't disagree.
But you do.
But Kenneth Walker made a case.
Well, Kenneth Walker's already... Did you see the news right before the show started?
Well, I saw that he's not going to be tagged.
Not going to be tagged, right? They're going to work out a long-term deal with K9. He's going back to Seattle. He's down here at the end. They're going to work out a long-term deal with Kenneth Walker.
Right. So, again, if they work that out, then yes, it's not really conversation. I think Breece at that point would be the number 1 guy. Definitely ahead of Etienne. We know the talent's there. Phenomenal pass catcher. But I don't know who wants him because we know he wants to get paid. And if he wants, let's say he wants $20 million guaranteed, like who's paying him that? I have no idea.
I don't think anybody's paying him $20 million. I don't know if that's where he wants to.
Not for one season. I mean, like a multi-year deal, 20, 30 million guaranteed. Like, I don't know who's paying him this kind of money. Because running backs do not get paid. If you make more than $8 million a year as a running back, you are very well paid. Very well paid. So, like, I just don't know who's going to pay him this money. And I have no idea where he wants to go. Unless his only goal is to win. Which, to some extent, I could see that from Breece. Like, not as worried about the money and wants to go somewhere he could win. But at that point, he could go a lot of places. He could end up in Dallas. Why not Dallas, right? If you're giving George Pickens $35 million
in southern New
right?
Mexico,
I was going to say I kind of like Dallas. I had to go. Debro is going HARD hard in the paint.
Debro's saying 12, 13 a year
for Kevin Coleman. This is what Debro knows. Debro knows I love him, but this is what happens when the regulars start to find out about some college guys. Coleman is fine. The dude played at 4 damn schools in 4 years. He's okay. I'm not making free agent decisions based on freaking Kevin Coleman Jr. I love you, Debro, but no. Jackson State, Louisville, Mississippi State, Missouri. I'm not making free agent decisions based on a day 3 wide receiver in Kevin Coleman Jr. So I love you, Debro, but no, sir. No, thank you. He's fine, but we're not letting Wan'Dale Robinson walk to draft Kevin Coleman Jr. No, sir. Where's Breece going? I don't know, Jay. I would love him in Dallas. I would absolutely love him in Dallas.
Be a Chief.
Well, Kansas City had an opportunity to do that for what, a 4th round pick, and they said no, thank you.
It was maybe a third.
I think it was a. I think it was a third. Was it a third?
They were 1 round apart apparently.
And they said no.
On the deal,
and they said no. And yes, Kenneth Walker. They are not going to apply the tag. They're bringing him back. They kind of don't have a choice. You know, you kind of do not have a choice right there with Kenneth Walker, and good for him. Good for him for balling out throughout the. I mean, they don't win a Super Bowl without Kenneth Walker. So yeah, you got to pay him. And the real question is how much. Like Walker's gonna get top 5 money. He's gonna get top 5 money. He's gonna get top 5 money. He's gonna get top 5 money.
Number is that would
he's gonna get top 5 money.
So Jacobs got $12 million last offseason. That is 6th.
Yes, he's getting more. He's getting more than Josh.
So
Jacobs.
Do you think he get more than JT? JT is $14 million.
Yes.
Okay. Do you think he get more than Henry, who's at $15 million?
I think he's right there. I think that's where he's at. I think he's right.
Try and push for just above Henry.
What's that like? Who's right?
It'd
Who's
be
next?
15
Is that
15
Cook?
Well,
Is that
next
Cook?
it's like it's a gap because it's McCaffrey at 19.
Oh damn. Where's
Yeah,
Cook
so
at?
Cook is at 11.5.
Damn. Buffalo got a deal.
Yeah. Kyron's at 11. Cook's at 11.5. Connor's at 9.5. Montgomery's a free agent.
Yeah.
We're going to be a free agent. But
Yeah,
Jacob's 12. Kamara's at 12.25.
Oh yeah, Walker's getting paid a decent
I
chunk.
think I think probably fourth, just above Taylor. Is probably where I'd slot.
Yeah,
him. But still, that 14 million average is a lot. It's a lot.
Money's going up though, right? So it's all going. The scale will just move up. So
yeah,
the number, the 15 million today is not the same 15 million that Derrick Henry got a couple of years ago, or vice versa. Hell, every year is a little bit different, right? KC is in the market for a running back. They should be. But I think the Chiefs, they don't have cap space, do they? When I was playing around with that,
I doubt it.
I don't think they have any cap space, honestly.
They are dead last at minus 57 million. So they got some work to do. But they got some big contracts too, so they can restructure a lot of guys.
All right, we shall see. Jay Rich,
Cozy Jackson Barkley's at 20.6 because the Philadelphia Eagles decided to give him a raise coming off that monster season. What happened? Stunk it up. Him and Henry. Yeah, both got raises. Both stunk it up.
Henry had 1,500 yards. What are you talking about?
Both got raises, stunk it up.
My gosh, get out of here. Get out of here. All right, Jay. That's enough free agent talk or tag talk. I'm sure we will continue to talk about this quite a bit throughout the coming weeks. But Daniel Jeremiah, literally 30 minutes before we jumped on the show, he dropped a brand new mock draft, 2.0, Daniel Jeremiah, round 1. I haven't seen it. You haven't seen it. Let's pull it up and let's talk about it. How about that? Let's pull it up and let's react. And we do have a super chat. Make sure that I get to Kev's. It's a good question right here. So let's pull it up. Let's pull the board up. What we got? Where are we at? Let's move this over a little bit so we can see. Mendoza going. Yeah, he's going number 1. We know that. Cool, great. Fernando Mendoza will be the quarterback for the Raiders. Jets take David Bailey at 2.
I've been saying it, Ray. A little bit underrated, David Bailey. A little bit underrated. Not a lot. He's still, in everyone's top 10 for the most part, but I like Bailey a lot. I think he could be a great player for the Jets. I think he fits their system very well. And honestly, I think the Jets need him a little bit more than they need Ruben Bain, personally.
Yeah, Debro said it right here. Casey has no money. And then Jeff said Casey has Brashard Smith. And then
Let's go.
That's my boy. I like Brashard, man, but he's not a very big guy. Number 3, the Cardinals. They go O-tackle, Francis Mauigoa, pretty chalk at this point. Tennessee, Ruben Bain. Pretty chalk at this point. Aaron Donald said Jeffrey Simmons is the best D tackle in the league, too. Aaron Donald ranked as D tackle, said Jeffrey Simmons. So you put Bain and Simmons next to one another. A defensive line, pretty good in Tennessee.
2 good DTs.
Draft starts right here at 5, and the Giants take Carnell Tate, my wide receiver 1, Jay Rich.
Yeah.
Tate, baby. Tate. And then let's pull up. Let's get that Frank's Red Hot off of there. Spencer Fanu goes 6 to the Cleveland Browns. Arvell Reese, 7 to the Washington Commanders. I think I mocked Reese there.
That's for Reese.
I mocked him there last night. Go check it out. Appreciate the first and 10 guys having me on. But let's pull up the super chat from Kev, man. Appreciate you, Kev. This is love right here. $20 super chat from Kev. He says, scouting the big 3 wide receivers a lot, and it seems like Tate and Lemon are the safe guys. Tyson is the star/dud. Injuries aside, Tyson's biggest knock against him seems to be his yak, yards after the catch. How much did QB play impact that yak? Thanks, guys. Jay Rich, this is your wide receiver 1. You have loved Jordan Tyson since I put you on last summer, and you checked him out last summer. And you're like, dude, this is baby Chase right here. No matter how much I've talked about Tate, how much I've talked about Lemon, you have held firm that Jordan Tyson is your top guy. What are your thoughts on Sam Levitt, the quarterback, and how much did Levitt's inconsistent play? And it wasn't just Levitt. Y'all, they had a dude named Jeff Sims. And if you know, you know. He is one of the worst quarterbacks in college football. Him and Marcel Reese right up there at the top for the worst in college football. How much do you think QB play impacted Jordan Tyson's sophomore or second year at Arizona State? His first year there was great. He came from Colorado, broke out. A lot of people don't know. Led Colorado in receiving as a true freshman. In his freshman season, he led them in receiving yards. This was prior to Shador and Hunter and Prime going there. got hurt, transferred to Arizona State, balled out, got hurt again this year. Production fell off a little bit. What are your thoughts on Tyson?
Yeah, so I think the way that Kev laid it out is exactly the way people should see it. Like, to me, Tyson is the most natural receiver of the three. You look at Lemon, people talk about his dog mentality, the way that he goes up and catches the ball. And personally, I don't really care about that. It was the same conversation that I had with people years ago, talking about Calvin Ridley versus Cortland Sutton. Right, Cortland Sutton was this big play receiver, tall, athletic, would make phenomenal catches, but Ridley was just the natural playmaker, right? Natural receiver. And I always thought Ridley was better than Cortland Sutton. But when you talk about the injuries with Tyson, it's a big deal. It's not small. You look to his best season his sophomore year, he was phenomenal. And I think if he finished that season, Ray, he probably would be the wide receiver one for everybody. But he didn't. He got hurt. And then he was hurt last year as well. To me, he's just the most natural receiver. I think second would be Tate, and that's why Tate's my number 2. I just think he's a little bit more limited in his skill set personally. But the thing for me that I can't understand with Lemon is that, and I've said this on the show a few times, I just think Lemon has to be Amon-Ra to return on what people expect of him. And I don't think Tyson has to be that. I think Tyson can just be a really good receiver. He may end up being a wide receiver too, but he'll be a very good, stable, solid, consistent wide receiver too. I understand the yak concerns. I think the quarterback play played into a little bit, but he also just doesn't really care to get yak. He just goes down, takes what's given, and just makes plays and is always open. And that's why I love Jordan Tyson.
That Luke said College Football 26 had Jeff Sims start the game for Arizona State, and he didn't realize it, and he threw a pick 6 on the first play. Jeff Sims, not very good. Not very good. And the aforementioned Mekhi Lemon goes 8th to your Saints to pair up with Chris Olave, who should get, hell, we're talking about Pickens' long-term contract. How much is Olave going to get? Because they're going to pay him in the offseason coming off of a career year in New Orleans. But Mekhi Lemon, did you see, you talked about Amon-Ra. Did you see the people didn't like that tweet that I put out where I said he ain't Amon-Ra St. Brown? Did you see that?
That one popped off.
That one blew up quite big, Jay Rich. The people did not like
me
saying that. They did not like that, saying that he was not Amon-Ra St. Brown.
But that's where people just, again, I understand the comparisons, but it's not even close. It's like, to me, they're two completely different.
They're two
players.
different. They're the same to me. They're just light skinned. They're light skinned and they wear the same. Let's move on to number 9. Jeremiah Love.
But how do you feel about Lemon in New Orleans?
I think it's great. I think he's a great compliment to Chris Olave. I actually think they work well together. And the things that Lemon does with his yards after the catch ability, that's not Chris Olave's game. He is touch and bust. He is going to get touched and fall down. Big play threat, sure hands. I think they complement each other, and it would be really good for Tyler Shuck. That is who it would be good for. Kansas City goes Jeremiah Love, pretty common pick right now. We know they need a running back, so this is maybe why they're like, hey, we're not going to pay Breece Hall $19 million. We'll draft Jeremiah Love and end up paying him more in a couple of years than we're going to. And I'm just telling y'all, I know the overall strength of the 26 class is not great. Jeremiah Love would clear any running back class. He's up there at the top of any running back class over the last decade. He's that good of a player. He's that talented. He's that efficient of a runner. And when you look at his career touches, I mean, Genty did what Love has done in 3 years. He did like in a year and a half as far as just overall volume and touches. This is a fresh running back hitting the NFL, and Jeremiah Love. He's very, very good. The Bengals, man, my heart would break if he did not fall to Dallas, but the Bengals get Caleb Downs. They need a safety. This makes a lot of sense for Cincinnati. Miami's going to go Mansour Delane. We know exactly what they need. And this one right here, I hate it. Jermon McCoy to Dallas. I like Jermon McCoy. The 24 tape was outstanding. I'm so tired of the Dallas Cowboys just drafting injured players. I just don't. He didn't play all this year. Torn ACL. They took Siobhan Revel last year in the second round. He was coming off of a torn ACL, and we saw what happened to him once he got on the field. I just don't know why Dallas does this. There are other healthier options to take, and the player that goes right after this, I just saw it for the first time. It gives me.
They're taking the second round this year, right?
It makes my stomach hurt because Dallas could have had Emmanuel McNeil Warren, who I would love in Dallas. Big play safety from Toledo. Rams take him at 13.
I've seen him rising, but I didn't think he's 13 good.
He's very good. I had the Rams trading up to 5 last night to take a safety, but you gotta check it out.
Caleb Downs is different.
Yeah, McNeil Warren is pretty good as well. Baltimore, there you go. Jordan Tyson to the Ravens.
Hate it so much.
You hate it? Stop it.
The Ravens suck, man.
Dude, get out of here, man.
They stop, dude.
Stop.
But instant double-digit touchdown upside for Tyson. Instant.
Sonny Styles in Tampa Bay. That makes sense. The Jets go Vega, Ione. They do not take Ty Simpson. Good for you, New York. New York went trenches. David Bailey and probably the nastiest guard of them all in this class. Vega is a beast out of Penn State. 17, the Lions are going to go with TJ Parker, edge rusher out of Clemson. We actually had this
Higher
debate.
than I usually see him.
We had this debate last night on the show, and we considered taking TJ Parker right here, but instead I think I opted for, I think I took an O lineman here for Detroit.
Yeah, they need line too.
I think I took line, or it may have been a different edge rusher, but Minnesota goes Dylan Thinnem. I mocked this 2 mocks ago. Got eviscerated when I was like Dylan Thinnem into Minnesota. White safety, Minnesota, good. Harrison Smith, it makes sense. It makes
3 safeties in the top 20, though?
It makes too much.
This is a class. Get your guy. 20, man.
Get your guy season. Dylan Thinnem, 18. In the mock last night, we actually had Minnesota trading up with Dallas at 12 to take Jeremiah Love.
Oh, Jesus.
Help your boy JJ McCarthy out. Help your boy JJ out. Carolina, Keldrick Falk at 19. Yeah.
Keldrick Falk.
Not at 19. No, thank you. Dallas Cowboys, they go Akeem Mesidor at pick 20.
Go. Plug and play player off the edge.
Plug and play.
You still don't like him, though. You prefer him cheaper than that. You'd rather have Boston. Look at that.
Denzel Boston goes to Pittsburgh.
Metcalf, Denzel Boston. How you feel about that tandem?
The Twin Towers is like poor man's Tim Duncan and David Robinson all over again, but not those guys. Neither of them are Tim Duncan and neither of them are David Robinson. 2 big outside receivers for Aaron Rodgers, who will be their quarterback next year, apparently.
It does seem like that's trending to happen.
It absolutely feels like it's
I don't mind
trending.
Boston and Pittsburgh, but at that point...
They're just redundant assets. Oh, my, Jay! Woo! Fantasy football people, close your eyes. Kenyon Sadiq to the Chargers. What does this do for your Oronde Gadsden shares? Wow.
I mean, it doesn't nuke them. It just makes them less certain. Does it nuke them? Like, Ray, honestly, like, where does Kenyon Sadiq fit in with Ladd McConkey, Quentin Johnson, Trey Harris, and Oronde Gadsden? For a team that probably wants to run the ball quite a bit, too, with Amar and Hampton. I think at that point, Sadiq is, like, not buried, but he's probably not going to do a whole lot.
Oof. This would
not a fan. Feels like a wasted pick.
I don't understand the pick. I don't understand.
What does he say there? Perfect weapon for great offensive mind of McDaniel, even though McDaniel barely used tight ends ever.
Barely.
Jonnu Smith.
Until he had no other option. I don't get this one. I don't get this one, DJ. I don't get it. Blake Miller, offensive tackle out of Clemson, goes to Philly. I think this is... They're going to take a lineman. I think they probably need to take O-line. The O-line was not good last year. They couldn't run the ball. You've got, and then there's rumors that Lane Johnson and Landon Dickerson could go away.
Yeah.
Blake Miller, maybe a little high. I prefer.
I've never seen him that high.
There's Monroe Freeling. I mocked Monroe to, I think I mocked him to Philadelphia last night. I think I put Freeling out of Georgia to Philly because Georgia and the Eagles just go together like, you know what I mean? White on rice, baby. Georgia and Philadelphia. Monroe Freeling. Man, the Browns this draft, they doubled tap tackle.
Because they got Fanu, right?
They got Fanu at 6, and then they went Freeling at...
See, this is...
I like this.
I'm on board with this.
I'm on board.
It was like one of the lowest yards per
I'm on board.
running backs in the league last year. Give him some tackles. Help
I'm
him
on board.
Get some more space there. Yeah.
I'm on board. Peter Woods goes to Chicago at 25. Oh, boy.
Man, that's a good pick. I was waiting for him to go.
Where's my Bills fans at?
Peter Woods?
Where's my Bills? Bills
would be devastated if Peter Woods went
Kevin, I think is Kev a Bills fan? I know some of you.
He's a Chargers fan.
Oh, Kev is a Chargers fan. Where's the other guy that's a Bills fan? This one right here, Jay. This one.
Peter Woods is a great pick. They need run.
What about this one?
Huge man.
You ready? You ready for the Buffaloes pick?
Oh, God.
We got to give Josh Allen some help, right?
Casey. Got to be Casey.
We got to give Josh Allen some help, right?
Yeah.
Malachi Fields.
Oh, you know I'm not a fan, man. Why are we drafting Keon Coleman 2.0 to the Bills? What is the difference here? He is just a big-bodied outside threat that isn't very fast and makes ridiculous catches sometimes. Like, why is Josh Allen was at his best when he has prolific, quick, twitchy receivers, not big-bodied outside guys that can't separate. We've been here. We've done this. Come on, DJ. We don't need Malachi Fields in Buffalo. God, what a bad pick.
Yeah, I don't like this one. So I'm almost done fine-tuning my college football Trinity model that uses draft capital usage. You already know I got the best usage tracker for the NFL in receivers. Malachi Fields, if he were to be picked here in the first round at 26, his production profile, like the hit rate on that type of collegiate profile with this capital is like very slim. It's not good. He's got one of the worst, the things that translate to NFL success. He's like the worst at those things. This would be a full fade for me. I would not like this fit at all. This feels like a wasted pick. This one feels like a wasted pick, and
that's bad.
I'm gonna put the model out there soon. He's at the very back of it. At the very back of it. This is nasty. The 49ers go Lee Hunter. I kind of like this pick. I kind of like this pick. Interior D-line. They had Alfred Collins last year. You get Bosa back. You get Michael back. A healthy Niners front with Lee Hunter is great. CJ West as well. That's not my squad. I just feel like they better find somebody to replace Trent sooner rather than later. They better improve that offensive line. You got to be able to
replace Salah too. The year without Salah was rough for them defensively.
It was rough. It was rough. All right, the Houston Texans go Caleb Lomu. Love it.
Really? Okay,
Houston,
that's a good pick for that.
Great pick. It just falls in their lap. You got Ursary on one side. You've got Lomu on the other side. This is the rebound for CJ Stroud right here, helping out with the trenches. I really do like that. The Rams at 29 go Colton Hood, cornerback.
Every time.
Just pencil Colton Hood in.
Every time.
Denver Broncos, they go CJ Allen.
Okay.
Your New England Patriots, they go edge rusher Zion Young out of Missouri.
The Missouri guy. Okay,
Missouri.
I'm fine with that.
And then the Seattle Seahawks. Jay Rich, love this pick by Seattle. Woo! You know who it is?
I have no idea.
Casey Concepcion. I like it.
Ooh.
I like it.
I guess if they can't bring Shaheed back, right?
He needs a compliment. I like it.
I think he'd be good with Darnold.
I think he would be good with Darnold. I like that fit. I like that fit.
JSN can still play outside, so you're not too worried about it there. Would you prefer a player that can be a bit more inside out, like JSN with JSN? Though?
Nah. Because JSN can do whatever.
It will keep him out of the slot more if it's him and Concepcion, right?
Yeah.
Unless they run two sets with Bobo or someone out there.
They run a lot of shit. So I think this would be a good fit. He can immediately be a returner. If you lose Shaheed, he's instantly your punt returner, kick returner, and then he can learn from Kupp and Jackson Smith and Jigba. I really like the pick of Casey Concepcion to the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah, they still got Kupp. They still got Kupp. I still got Kupp. Yeah, man, this would be good for Sam Darnold. So this is Daniel Jeremiah's mock. It just dropped this morning, today at 7:30, right before the show. Mock 2.0. Jay Rich, hit the music, man. Hit the music.
Not bad.
It's the show. No, that wasn't bad.
In there.
That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad.
Yeah,
I mean, the Malachi Fields one is that's the iffy one. All right. Make sure you check out my mock that I did with the crew from First and 10, the First 10 podcast. Go check it out over on YouTube. It'll drop later today. Very good guys, Metro and Cade. Appreciate y'all having me on. Check out all of our content on the channel. Mendoza Profile, Tyson, Lemon, Tate, Jeremiah Love coming very soon. And then we'll keep those things rolling throughout the process. Jay Rich, anything you want to say to people before we get out of here?
No, thank you everybody for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys on Thursday. Maybe get into some more news, maybe another mock, and have some fun on a Thursday show. But thank you for tuning in, and we will see you guys later. Ray, I hope you have a great day, and I hope everyone out there listening live after the fact has a great day as well. So thank you for tuning in, and we will see you guys soon. We are out. Peace.